And I have emerged into the cold. And that's the intersection of Queen Street West and University Avenue. And hey there, it is Saturday, January 4th. The time is 3:33 p.m. and the temperature is minus 2 degrees Celsius. And that doesn't seem like it would be that cold, but with the wind chill, it is minus 12. As my camera struggles to spin around, or rather, it feels like minus 12. And I was going to start this one off over at Queen and Spadina and take a walk around the perimeter of the Alexandra Park neighborhood. But with the Spadina streetcar still not running, I opted to just take the subway to Osgood Station there. So I'll bring you along with me as I walk over to Queen and Spadina and then start the walk around the perimeter of Alexandra Park. And I'll probably finish up at, I think, Dundas and Spadina. We'll walk west along Queen here to Bathurst Street, then I'll head north up to Dundas, then we'll pop east over to Spadina. So this is Queen Street West. And the Toronto Star recently ran an article, I'm trying to recall what it was titled. I think Queen Street West used to be the heart of Toronto. How did it go wrong? And it talked about how there was a lot of grassroots music in the area. It was kind of considered to be ground central for what's cool in the city back then. There were smaller, more independent retailers that were more affordable. And a very happening live music, including punk rock music scene. Now it's a lot of chains and bigger retailers, at least throughout this stretch. Rents have gone up dramatically. And quite recently, even a few of the really big retailers have pulled out. Zara recently closed their store just up ahead. And not too long ago, H&M closed their store on Queen West. And I think Bell has all but abandoned their operations at the iconic Chum building here in the corner, once home to City TV and Much Music. Although I think the plans are still for that iconic truck to still stick out of the building like that. Not sure what they're doing with this building now. I think Much Music moved into this building back in 1987. It was previously located on Queen Street East. Because that guy just kicked that into the middle of the street. Is he going to kick it again? Just kicked it right at that Uber. Oh well, at least he took care of it, so to speak. This used to be Speaker's Corner, a city TV institution on this corner. As we look south down John Street, a designated cultural corridor. Apparently that is home to Your Morning on CTV. City TV is owned by Rogers now, and they have a studio over at Dundas Square. It's still a popular and vibrant strip. And it's one of the ones I've recorded the most on the channel.
You know what I mean?
There's Black Market. They've bounced around to a few different locations. This place is pretty new. Now we've got the likes of Chipotle here. And a Shoppers Drug Mart. I remember coming here back in high school thinking this was kind of like the epitome of cool. That would have been back in the 90s. There's where Zara used to be. They've still got a big shop over at the Eaton Center. There's another Black Market location.
I'm excited to see all the video.
That Aldo's been there for a very long time. And one of the staples of this neighborhood used to be across the street, the Black Bull Tavern, but now that is a Score on Queen. There's Mountain Equipment Co-op. They used to be located just south of here on King Street. And that spot used to be a parking lot. And there used to be a number of clubs and night spots down Peter Street here. $247 even. It's kind of reminiscent of a certain other convenience store. Oh, I wonder if this Adidas is moving out. There's a for lease sign in the window. And this place across the street, Brandy Melville, is stupidly popular. Every time I walk by, there seems to be a big lineup to get in.
There's so many like
as we walk past Steve's Music Store. It's a long-standing institution on Queen Street.
Which is like, I guess I mean by understand.
But where I wanted to start this video is just up ahead at this intersection, Queen and Spadina. But I thought if I have to walk over here anyways, then I might as well just leave the camera running. This shoe store has been here since the 90s. Get outside. And two of the corners of this intersection are under construction to make way for Ontario Line subway stations. All right, let's cross over. You can see there a Spadina bus. As the streetcars were supposed to return in December, but obviously they haven't yet. I always like this view from here with those spaghetti wires up top forming a Grand Union intersection where streetcars can turn in any direction. It's one of only 3 in North America configured like that, and there is the CN Tower off in the distance. But the neighborhood to the north of Queen Street, which is on my right, is Alexandra Park. It's bordered by Queen Street here to the south, Bathurst Street to the west where we're heading, Dundas Street to the north, and Spadina, which we just passed, to the east. And I think sometime in the near future I'll be doing a detailed walk through the interior of the neighborhood. It's undergoing a massive revitalization. It's been a few years since I've done that. It's new, a tahini's moving in. There's a lot of co-ops and public housing in Alexandra Park. And the current revitalization was approved back in 2013. And it's not too unlike what we're seeing over at Regent Park. There's another neighborhood I need to go back to and do an updated video on. That's over on the east side of downtown.
Okay.
This stretch feels a little bit more like the Queen Street of old. There's the Java House. I gotta say, I like their old sign better. And the Waterworks just south of here, which features a pretty expansive new food hall. And on the south side of the street, running parallel to Queen, is Graffiti Alley. You can see an entranceway into Graffiti Alley. There's something else I need to revisit in the near future. I might record that one in HDR. It is definitely a cold one today with this wind chill.
Is that like
Is this music good company? Are they the ones blasting that, trying to get me in trouble with the YouTube copyright police? This is the north end of Portland Street. As we walk by the Velvet Underground on the right, a live performance venue. Here's the kind of development that would have been unimaginable along Queen Street in the 80s and 90s. Loblaws, Joe Fresh, and Bank of Montreal in a rather nondescript looking building. And of course there's a Shoppers across the street. There used to be an excellent burrito place called New York City or NYC Subway, and it was right next to a Subway sandwich just up here on the right. $6 Buds and Bud Lights at the Dime Roadhouse, right next to another institution, Bovine Sex Club.
interesting part-time job?
And Bathurst Street up ahead marks the western border of downtown. It's also the start of what's dubbed West Queen West, running along Queen Street between Bathurst and Dufferin Street. And when you get to the other side of Dufferin, you'll be in the Parkdale neighborhood. There's CB2. Get your fancy furniture over there. And West Queen West looks quite busy up ahead, but we are heading north up Bathurst Street now, where the streetscape will look quite different. We'll be walking alongside Alexandra Park itself. Rug sale. up to 80% off. This is a little streetcar turnaround. There's looking to Alexandra Park. Wonder what bus that is. It would normally be the Bathurst streetcar on this line. It's a 511B running to Exhibition. I wonder if streetcars are even running on Bathurst. There's another bus coming this way. And you'd think in a cold climate there would be bus stops that at least shield you from the wind. In some countries they go as far as having heated bus stops. Not here, most of them you're left outside. Although some will probably point out that heated bus stops would quickly be occupied by the unhoused. I've always found this a very curious row of homes right here. I'd love to hear the story as to how they came to be. A lot of these homes go back to the 1800s. Those look more like probably the 1940s or 50s. Oh, here comes a streetcar making its way south down Bathurst. There'll be a large outdoor skating rink that should be open in Alexandra Park. Hey, a brown squirrel. Some artwork. The city routinely plays whack-a-mole with the encampments here. There's been times when I walk by and there's no tents. And it doesn't take too long to repopulate. And there's a hotel just on the other side of that encampment. I think that's the Alexandra Hotel, a budget 3-star hotel. So there's an ice trail and a hockey rink. You see a lot of people playing paddleball and pickleball here in the summer or warmer months. There's a Zamboni in there. That's not so much an ice trail as it is just an ice surface. That's obviously free and open to the public.
Say hi to Abuna and
Looks like the hockey players are just cleared off. I didn't get here in time. What is more Canadian than that? And where the Scotting Court Community Center is here, at one time used to be a mansion. Gazowski Hall, I think it was called. I think it was a Polish family who owned the land in this area. And we've got the Sanderson Library branch. And that community center is currently undergoing a renovation. There's also a swimming pool over on the other side. You can see a notice of the revitalization of the facilities. This is Dundas Street, so we're now going to head east over to Spadina and wrap things up. That's Toronto General across the street. So on the north side of Dundas here, which is to the left, is the Kensington Market neighborhood. And again, on the right, Alexandra Park. There's a neat row of food stalls coming up. We'll see if any of those are open. Doesn't look like it. Banh mi, Jamaican, Japanese street food, Ethiopian, Thai. Oh, this Japanese place is open. Elevated Filipino street food, they're open. Poutine, not open. I think that's a bike repair shop. MikeTheBike.ca. And we're going to begin walking through Chinatown. I could have cut through Alexandra Park and came out here, and there's the swimming pool. I believe that's Ryerson Public School. They renamed the university, but not this school. Buddha's vegan restaurant, that's been there for quite a while. Dundas has that Greens vegetarian restaurant. You can see part of that revitalization. Augusta Avenue closed some Sundays, 12 to 7 p.m., May to September. Yeah, the last Sunday of the month, that's referring to Augusta Avenue on the north side of the street. It's closed for pedestrian Sundays. There's where a fire was not too long ago. Insurance dollars being put to work. And normally when I walk this stretch of Dundas, I'm on the north side of the street. It's a bit more interesting with all the Chinatown and Kensington market businesses. But we'll stick to the Alexandra Park side for this one. That's the Atkinson Housing Co-op on the right. I don't know if that's going to get a refresh, if it'll be knocked down and rebuilt. And I think Dundas Street would definitely benefit from a row of retail on the side of the street instead of just an ugly gate and parking. That's Kensington Avenue there, leading into what would normally be on the weekends a bustling Kensington Market.
Yeah, go.
T&L Zone, pool, darts live, table tennis, bubble tea, Vietnamese snacks. That looks like a fun place. And there's a KTV across the street. Welcome to the heart of Chinatown, Dundas and Spadina. If I were to go all the way around the perimeter of the Alexandra Park, I'd make a right here and head down to Queen. But instead, I think this is going to be all she wrote. And preparing to do a live stream after this. A 1440p higher quality live stream I'm going to be testing. But I also need to use the facility, so it's quite convenient. The Dragon City Mall is right behind me, so I hope you enjoyed it. This walk recorded on the 4th day of 2025. And you should be watching this on the 5th day of 2025, as I don't have any other videos lined up. So let me know your thoughts and comments down below. If you wish to support what I do on YouTube, there's links to my Patreon and YouTube channel membership down in the description. I have an Instagram account at Johnny Strides, and there is a super thanks button appearing down below if you wish to say thanks that way. Anywho, thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Yoink.